Good morning, everyone. Today is finally the big update regarding the EX style as well as the Crimson Realm as well as new augments. There's a whole bunch of things to cover, but more importantly, there's a ton of campaigns, especially if you're a returning player. There's a lot of goodies waiting for you. Alright, with that being said, let us go over the EX style stuff over here. As you can see, there is an EX style Awaken fast track campaign. And don't worry, even though it does say for returning players over here, there are a lot of things that do apply to existing players or current players, alright? So the very first thing I want to go over is, of course, the free 100 pulls. So you do get 10 free SG pulls every single day. Do not worry, this applies to everyone. As you can see right here, every player can receive 10 free pulls every day for up to 100 free draws at the Head Start 10 a day free SG scratch. So literally just log in, do your 10 free pulls every single day, and you'll get all 100 pulls. And the greatest part about this is there is no time limit on this. As you can see, available indefinitely following the end of the maintenance on October 1st, which is today. So you can literally take your time here, but for most people, you probably want to play because, EX style and a whole bunch of other stuff is available. Now, if you're a returning player, they are giving you a metric butt ton of useful resources over here. As you can see, they are giving you 30 million EXP as an EXP ticket. You literally just pop it and you're pretty much gonna power level yourself super quickly. They're even giving you free material storage tickets, but as you can see from the screenshots over here, they're actually giving you like 1,500 pro-grade grinders. They're giving you 10 beta reactors and a whole bunch of other goodies over here. So it's definitely a good time to pick all of this up, especially if you haven't logged in a while. Now, the way that the game determines whether you're a returning player or not is whether you've logged in the past 30 days or not. All right. So if you haven't logged in the past 30 days, once you log in, you'll be able to receive all of these goodies. However, if you have logged in the past 30 days, unfortunately, you will not be considered as a returning player. So that is a little bit unfortunate for a lot of my friends who just started playing like a couple days ago, because unfortunately, you won't be able to get all of these goodies. But to be perfectly honest, it's not the end of the world. We have Crimson Realm this entire week. You're literally going to be showered with all of these materials. This is just a nice little boost to entice people to come back in. And then the cherry on top is, of course, the welcome back gifts. They have boosted these gifts over here. Again, this does not go away anytime soon. As you can see here, available indefinitely following the end of the maintenance on October 1st. But we do get some extra material storage and even 5 days for extended storage 1. That is pretty awesome, as well as the usual goodies over here. Now, the next campaign is something that's actually pretty awesome, and that is the treasure shop sale. They did mention this in the NGS live stream. However, they didn't actually specify whether it was going to be through the Meseta treasure shop or the SG treasure shop. However, now we have confirmation that it will be through the Meseta treasure shop, and they even told us the prices, which is pretty amazing. As you can see here, you can actually buy Juvlog weapons with fixes, pro-grade armors with fixes, Juvlog Volt 1s, as well as pro-grade Vances, and here are all of the prices. They're actually pretty inexpensive. 30,000 for a Juvlog series weapon, 30,000 for the pro-grade armor, 1,050 for both the Juvlog Volt 1s as well as the pro-grade Vances. And remember, you can literally just refresh the treasure shop over and over and over in order to buy whatever you want, and it'll only cost you Meseta. So this is a really good way to catch up incredibly quickly. Now, if that wasn't enough, we even have the equipment upgrade exclusive enhancement support campaign, where you get some insane boosts as well as discounts to upgrade your Juvlog weapon into a Vulcan weapon into an Iden weapon. All right, so there's pretty much no excuse for anyone not to have an Iden weapon, especially after this week, because you're literally going to be showered with all of these materials. And on top of that, you can also upgrade your armors from your pro-grade armors into your execute armors. So please just do so, because it's super easy, and there's all these crazy discounts, and there's the 100% enhancement success rate. Now, as for the skill ring release, this doesn't kick in until next week. This is another campaign, but basically next week skill rings will become available. We cannot farm them yet. They're not out in the game this week. so we have to wait one more week for this. But nevertheless, when they become available next week, we all get a ring for free called Simple Guard, which reduces our damage taken by 5%. That's pretty nice to have. Now, with that being said, let's go over the new content. First of all, we are getting 2 new mini episodes, so there is extra story. That's going to be pretty nice. Our level cap is being raised to 110, so yes, we got to grind a little bit more, level up more, gain even more battle power. The new EX style is finally being implemented into the game, so yes, there are 3 different EX styles, 3 different paths. For my friends who just want the TLDR, if you're melee, go with EX style A, if you're range, go with EX style B, and if you're technique, go with EX style C. That's the TLDR. However, of course, you can mix and match. You don't have to follow the cookie cutter build. If you have a unique build or a very specific idea in your head, by all means, you can experiment. You can be a melee class and use EX style C if you want. There currently is no meta, so just play however you want and just have fun. Now, as for where will we be farming this week, it's all gonna be Crimson Realm. Crimson Realm in the Kavaris region will only be available for this week. So you definitely want to farm the Living Daylights out of the Crimson Realm, because there is a new material that drops in the Crimson Realm, which is used to make the new augment Terra Trial. Terra Trial is the new upgrade above Giga Trial, so you do want to aim for this because it's just going to give you more potency, it's going to make you more stronger, and I am assuming that the material that drops in the Crimson Realm is going to be sellable, just like the Bastia capsules. So basically this entire week is your money making week, especially for my free-to-plays out there. You're going to farm as many of them as you can, throw them onto the player market, and try to cash out as much as possible, as all the whales are going to be buying this to make their own Terra Trials. However, there is a catch with the Terra Trials over here. Once the Crimson goes away next week, it might not be possible to farm this material to make any more Terra Trials. So unlike the Bastia capsules where you can just still obtain them after a week or 2, the Terra Trials may become gated after this week. So that is just something to keep in mind. Hopefully Sega doesn't make this mistake. However, it has been a trend. Sega has done this many times in the past. So do not be too surprised if you try to cash out and make a ton of money, and then next week or 2 weeks later you find out that the prices are even crazier. It might be possible. So, you know, it's really up to you. It's a little bit of mind games and prediction and praying that Sega doesn't screw you over. But nevertheless, that is just something to keep at the back of your mind. Next up is a bunch of Line Strike card adjustments. I'm gonna be real with you, I have no idea what's going on with Line Strike since I don't play it. We're also getting some new face options. Remember, this Foul Tech face is available for everyone. You do not need to buy it. Once you log into the game, head into the salon, you automatically get this. Everyone gets this face type. So if you do like it, by all means, you can go ahead and use it. Then other than that, there are a ton of quality of life improvements. So basically just streamlining your experience, including the ability to access your inventory and storage while you're in the salon. So that's even better. And last but not least is, of course, the new collaboration Guilty Princess style is now available. So if you do like cat maids or fox maids or elf maids and just maids in general, this collaboration is for you, because there's a ton of maid outfits and there's a ton of really nice hairstyles and weapon camos from this scratch. So definitely take a look. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.